I first felt the call to the priesthood when I was 8. Yeah, I was born in a city called Oyibo in Nigeria, where I was staying with my family and my grandma. But my grandma was getting old, so she needed to retire to the country. And then she had asked if any of my elder siblings could go to the country with her to support her as she was retiring. I was still 7 then, so I told my grandma that I'm gonna go with her to support her because I had this great bond with my grandma. I loved her so much. So yeah, my parents let me go with her, so she took me to the country. But then one of the things she did when we got to the country was to enroll me as an altar server. So I started serving at the altar at that very young age. But it was in serving at the altar that I piqued interest in becoming a priest. So the news was actually welcomed with great joy by my grandmother, and she broke the news to my family, that Jude said he wanted to be a priest. In my home country of Nigeria, it took like 18 years to be a priest. Yeah, because you have to start with the middle school seminary, that's the junior seminary. So my parents were a little afraid, that they don't have enough resources to keep me in school for that long, like 18 years. So, but I remember as a very young kid then telling my mom not to be afraid, that if it be the Lord's will that I be a priest, that the Lord will provide a means through which that would happen. And I still remember my parents giving me a hug that day when they drove me to the seminary and bidding me farewell. Yeah, but one thing I could see in their faces was that total abandonment to the will of God for me. They believed that I was a gift to them from God and that they could not stop me from, making the choice to give my life to being a priest. Usually when I tell people that I've been in seminary for 20 years, they are like, what? Have you been failing exams? Like I said, no. Yeah, it's been long, but then, yeah, it's been beautiful years, Beautiful years of God's grace, Beautiful years of growth, getting to deepen my relationship with the Lord, to love the Lord more, to grow in my relationship with God and also my fellow human beings. And having been in seminary for 17 years, before moving to the United States, yeah, I had that fear within me because it meant leaving behind everything I had. I had made a lot of friends, I have built relationships, like I have my classmates and we were getting close to ordination. But it meant that I was gonna leave those things behind to come to a new place where I didn't have any family, I didn't know anybody. I'm gonna begin afresh to build reputation, to get to make new friends and all that. Yeah, I was really afraid, but I took it to prayer. I asked the Lord, Lord, is this truly what you want for me? But I felt the Lord constantly telling me to not be afraid, that He was gonna be with me. So that was actually how I made up my mind to come to the US. And I must say that, since I came to our diocese, like it's been a very beautiful journey. And I do not regret making that choice to come here. I felt that the Lord really heard that prayer, so that the people I have encountered so far have been so wonderful. They have loved me as their own. They have been a source of huge support for me as I journey to the priesthood. When I was reading through the book of Isaiah, one of the passages that really inspired me was what Isaiah said, that the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for He has anointed me to bring good news to the poor, to bring consolation, to people. And that's a very beautiful inspiration for me, especially as I make this step to the priesthood. So I look forward to being able to be there for people, to journey with people in their journey through life, to bring the lost joy, to bring the love of the Lord, to bring consolation, to bring healing to people that I encounter, in their journey. So to the people of Palm Beach, yeah, I wish to tell you that I love you so much, and I look forward to, serving God, through serving you in this diocese and working together with all of you.